He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We've got Dr. Stan Monteith joining us for part 2 of a larger eugenics discussion, what makes the New World Order tick, how they believe they are the social architects controlling society for the last 150 years, and they've indeed done that to horrific effect. And where all of this is going, Aaron Dyke's riding shotgun with us as well for the next 52 minutes with some interesting quotes. Aaron, read a few more of those quotes. We're going to go to medical doctor Stan Monteith, also syndicated radio host and author.
Yeah, here's one from back in 1935. Herman J. Mueller, he was an assistant to Julian Huxley, brother to the author Aldous Huxley. He talks about how man is the first being yet evolved which can note his own changefulness, and that it will be to his advantage to use eugenic ideas to invent new characteristics, organs, biological systems, get this, that will work out to further his interest, happiness, and the glory of the godlike being whose meager foreshadowings we, the present alien creatures, are. And you'll see that the futurists have that same idea in mind, becoming godlike creatures.
Well, it was Aldous Huxley change our name because eugenics has been demonized by Hitler.
Yeah, he did. I have that quote if you want to take the time.
Well, I mean, I love the transhumanists call me up and say I'm a liar. And I go, well, do you know who your founder is? And I go, no. And I have them Google it. They go, oh, my God, it's true.
Well, he's basically indicating eugenics' name is spoiled, but hopefully we can revive it someday. And, of course, he coined the name transhumanism.
That's crypto-eugenics.
Yeah, that's true. Now, this is a futurist. It's not all futurists, but it shows you what's par for the core. This is Barbara Marx Hubbard. Really wild stuff.
Well, the founders of futurism were eugenicists. The point is, are there some offshoots that don't follow it? Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the whole quote because it's really too long, but she gets off...
And she set up the Pentagon Special Forces groups. Go ahead and read it.
Yeah, she gets off, and this is like a Revelations interpretation, a gross distortion.
Read the whole thing. Monteith's happy to stay there.
All right. Out of the full spectrum of human personality, 1/4 is electing to transcend. 1/4 is ready to so choose, given the example of one other. The next 1/4 is resistant to election. They are unattracted by life ever evolving. The final 1/4 is destructive. They are born angry with God. They are defective seeds. There have always been defective seeds. In the past, they were permitted to die a, quote, natural death. Continue, quote, we, the elders, have been patiently waiting until the very last moment before the quantum transformation to take action to cut out this corrupted and corrupting element in the body of humanity. It's like watching a cancer grow. Now as we approach the quantum shift from creature human to co-creative human, the human who is an inheritor of godlike powers, the destructive 1/4 must be eliminated from the social body. We have no choice, dearly beloveds. Fortunately, you, dearly beloveds, are not responsible for this act. We are horse death. We come to bring death to those who are unable to know God. The riders of the pale horse are about to pass among you. Grim reapers, they will separate the wheat from the chaff. This is the most painful period in the history of humanity.
They always say it's so painful, we're going to have to murder everyone, but it's so beautiful. And now, she trained the Special Forces. This is the highest level. CIA is giving this training. They're brought into a Luciferian ritual. They are told it's going to be mass extermination and death for the God power, for Christ to come back to earth. This is the highest level Luciferian system she set up in Special Forces, the Earth First Battalion, which is the modern name of Earth First. Continue.
Barbara Marx Hubbard, who is, of course, somewhat mild because she only wants a 1/4 dead, whereas many of them want 90% dead. I have Eric Pianka's student, Rebecca Calisi, saying, quote, there's no denying the natural world would be a better place without people.
Period.
All people, not a selective bunch. Get it straight.
And then she's, of course, working now in bioweapons research. So you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. They're coming. Police, you're being sprayed by them. Chemtrails are admitted. Mainstream news just broke at prisonplanet.com. You're being sprayed with barium salt, sulfur dioxide. We are all under maximum killing you. That's why cancer's up several thousand %. Autism up several thousand %. Actually, 20,000+ %. That's why there's all these. That AIDS was a government bioweapons program decades ago. Has all the documents for the rest of this hour. I wanted to preface it with that, Doctor. It is really great to have you up with us.
Well, it's good to be with you, Alex, and I think that quotation you just read from Barbara Marx Hubbard is so important. This was in the event giving talks to her disciples. The book was actually, and she admits, channeled to her by a spirit. She called it the Christ spirit. I think it was a demonic spirit. And basically, what prefaced what you just read was Revelation 6:8, and she quoted from Revelation 6:8, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the rider upon him is death. And any of your readers should go ahead and read Revelation 6:8. And then, of course, she extrapolates, or the demonic force, which is acting through her, extrapolates that, talking about the necessity of killing that 1/4 who will not, of course, ascend to the next higher level of development. She's talking about the Christians. And then she concludes, that is not your job, my dear, that is ours, for we are the riders of the pale horse death. This is one of the most powerful women in America. This is a woman who actually ran for the vice presidency of the United States. I think it was in 1984. She ran against Geraldine Ferraro, but Geraldine Ferraro was elected, and of course, fortunately, she didn't become either the vice president or the president. But this is the sort of people you have working within the political process. She thinks nothing wrong with killing 1/4 of the population.
And everything is about bringing it in. The death has to happen. Now, she's on the very liberal, loving side of only killing a few billion. The mainline group becoming dominant says total human extermination, that the final globalists will have their head chopped off in a robotic, final execution of humanity. And we just read a quote of that earlier. And these people are all in bioweapons development. They're running everything. I don't think the population realizes this is the New World Order, Doctor.
I don't think they do either, because you see, Alex, when we talk about the plan, and of course you went to the Georgia Guidestones, or at least you know the story of the Georgia Guidestones.
It's an endgame.
Georgia, where they talk about eliminating over 90% of the world population. The average listener out there says, this is not logical. No logical person would do that. And you have to agree with them. No logical person would do that. But we're not dealing with logical people. We're dealing with people with a different worldview who would actually destroy humanity.
And cults are heavily driven. They're heavily powerful. Wealthy people have always been involved. This is the dominant Luciferian sex cult that's running things. And, I mean, break down who the New World Order is. Your book, Brotherhood of Darkness. I mean, boil it down to very simple terms. What are we dealing with? What's their master plan?
We're dealing with a number of secret or semi-secret societies that, of course, have a master plan of creating a one-world government, a one-world religion, with the destruction of Christianity, and a one-world leader. And he says we list them all in the Brotherhood of Darkness, and then we come up with new ones all the time. I'm constantly amazed how many organizations there are, even beyond those mentioned in my book, Brotherhood of Darkness. Just came across a group called The Family recently. They put on the annual presidential prayer breakfast. Christians come from all over the country, make large donations to attend the prayer breakfast, put on by a cult called The Family, and believe me, of course, they have an entirely different agenda.
And then you find out that you may have 100 different groups, but there's the 100 leaders are then part of the super group.
Amen to that. But they're all bound together by the spiritual forces that energize them. And if you don't understand that there really are Luciferian forces out there, there really are people who worship the prince of this world and have given themselves over to the dark side, and there is power there. You are promised wealth and notoriety and fame and power, but in the process you're going to give up your soul. These people actually made a deal with the devil. Knowingly or unknowingly, they've done it. Incidentally, that quotation, the book, the Revelation, the Book of Co-Creation by Barbara Marx Hubbard, was eventually republished, a slightly watered-down version, but it was funded by the Lawrence Rockefeller Endowment for the Humanities. The Lawrence Rockefeller Endowment for the Humanities, and then you begin to see these occult movement within the Rockefeller family doing everything they can to destroy humanity and civilization.
And they put the sickest face on it. It's beautiful, my darlings, the mass blood and slaughter. Soon, and that's how Bianca talks. I know I'll have to die. Me and my family, we're looking forward to the death. It's going to be so beautiful. And then he projects giant skulls and a PowerPoint. And the Texas Academy of Sciences rises for a 3-minute standing ovation with tears. Yes, kill, devil! That's the issue. It's not just some isolated nut. And then their weirdo graduate students now working at, bioweapons facilities, other research labs, send us emails going, you don't know how beautiful the death will be. I mean, this is like out of a horror movie.
Well, unfortunately, it is a horror movie, and these things are underway today. They are exterminating large numbers